And we are live on another edition of All In on NJIC Football. Kurt Valenti, Jennifer Valenti, how are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Well, I got a couple things going on. The bad just got over a cold. Was sick a little bit last week, a little sore throat, cough, but feeling better. As in, I'm going to have a couple candies tonight, so it's not being disrespectful. I'm just going to have some candies. The good, my St. John's Red Storm opened up last night, number 5 in the country. Final Four candidate. The Knicks, Coach Luciani, Coach Carbone, Coach Marr, all my Knick guys were fine. And how about those 7-2 Denver Broncos? And then the mysterious today, by the way, shout out to Kearney School District. We're off all week, so I'm enjoying a week off. Running some errands. Come home today. No bow in the crate. Go on the second floor. No bow in the second floor crate. Come back down. I said, Jen, didn't the girls were here to take him out? Everything was fine. I go up to the third level, our sports room. Here he comes flying out. He has a little Ole Miss logo in his mouth, and
we have an escape artist.
That's an escape artist. So we had to put in a new 3 foot. Luckily we had to set some stuff up, and
due to previous breakouts, we had ordered a 3 foot high pen that is really big, like 6 feet long. Right? It's a nice big space for him. Luckily, it came today. It is set up. It has taken over our house, but he's got to be safe. So that is all that matters.
So eventful.
Yeah. It was it was exhausting. We set up after school and prepping for the show. We squeezed in setting up the new Bo's new digs while we're not home to keep him safe.
But Jen,
interesting indeed.
Hey, semifinal weekend. Some great playoffs, some upsets.
Yeah.
Some dominations that we expected, some closer ones. But hey, a couple upsets. Pro could go A, Pro could go B, get going this weekend. So we're in the thick of the high school football.
We got a huge slate again tonight. Zach Smolin from Big State Sports will join us again. We'll be able to pick his brain for all things state playoffs related, NJIC specific, of course. And we have a representative from every team that is still alive. The state tournament brackets came out for the public school. We had 14 NJIC teams in, 15 we throw in St. Marian and non-public B. Going into this week, 7 of the public schools are still alive with St. Mary's. So 8 NJIC schools are still alive in state tournament play. Some exciting stuff.
Yeah. Real quick, Mr. Kirkpatrick, our guest picker last week. Hello, Jen and Kurt. Looking forward to another amazing show and enjoy your conversation this weekend. I'm putting all my money on Ole Miss this week. He said, yeah, Bo was sending us a message today. That's all I'm going to say about that one.
What you call it? I did want to mention, I am a 4th grade teacher, and my class and I did a little Veterans Day project, and in conjunction with the student council at school, we're doing a little fundraiser for the Disabled American Veterans. DAV is the name of the organization. Every $250 we raise, we get 24 flags sent to us for a field of flags that we're putting on school grounds to honor veterans. Each one comes with the story of a veteran. So we did hit our first 250, so we have 24 flags coming, but we'd love to get another 24, and our goal was to hit 500. So we're just shy of 500 right now, but Sean did drop the link in, if no pressure, but if anybody would like to donate to the disabled veterans, the link is in there, and we would love your support. It was a great opportunity for my students to really learn about what veterans mean to our country, and how much they've sacrificed, because I feel like I was actually a little surprised by I don't know, I feel like there's a little disconnect right now with maybe just because of the times are a little bit different than when we grew up, and it was such a worthwhile thing for us to do, and I really think my kids got so much out of the activity. So yeah, just a little, if you'd like to donate, listen, please feel free, and we'd appreciate your support, but again, no pressure.
Number one, Sean Murphy's back there, the man, and he got that up and running already.
Thank you, Sean.
That's Sean. And number 2, you know what? We're all sports fans, right? We love sports. We have heroes. But you know what? Those are really the true heroes. They really are. And I just think that's great that you are doing it. Your kids are learning about it. And there's our great friend, Patrick Wiltsey. Aloha, my Eastern. Ohana?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Ohana's I believe family, right?
He thought we were mad at him today because we haven't sent him mattresses. But it's everybody. Well, you know what? We got to get Zach.
Yeah.
We got to get Zach. We'll get Zach
tonight. And actually, we do have one more that I have for you that we have to
Okay.
send. So we'll reach out.
Okay.
But we ran a little behind. I want to thank our sponsors, and maybe we can bring Zach right in.
Yeah, and
just
then we'll go to
today.
and then we'll go to our little question I had for you. We'll work that in.
Yeah, we'll work that in
We'll work
somewhere
that in.
tonight. But our sponsors, we want to thank Red's Restaurant and Beer Garden, 2 locations, one in Newark, one in Carlstadt, the Roosevelt, located in East Rutherford, Villa Italia Restaurant in Lyndhurst, great supporter of all things doing with the school there. Puppies and Tattoos, our sponsors, our Top Dog segment, and of course, Lion Coffee. So let me put up really quickly, if anybody is interested in ordering coffee from Lion Coffee, we have a 10% promotion code. You can go to www.lioncoffee.com and enter Patrick10 to receive a 10% off coupon for Lion Coffee, which I'm a big fan of. So highly recommend.
Okay.
But let's get in our first guest. We do have Zach waiting, so let me grab him right now. Hey, Zach, how you doing?
Oh, I'm excellent. How are you guys?
Good. Thanks so much again for joining us. Our pleasure to have you back.
Oh man, thanks for having me on again. I mean, this is great. I love the show, and any opportunity I get to talk about this stuff, I got to jump at it. So very excited.
Well, we appreciate it for sure. And again, you know what, we'll ask you about the games later, but we will definitely come this week send some reminders out on our social media about where the
Hey, thank
NJIC
you.
games, can be found. So we'll definitely get
We
that
got
in.
5 of them. So,
I know. We're gonna get
Yeah.
to that. We're gonna get to that. And I was looking
That's
today. I
great.
was like, well, how many games? And when we saw the games, I was
Yep.
like, oh, I'm not going anywhere.
Mhm.
Well, you know what? Well, it's actually good because we actually both know we both work in school districts, so we're actually going to the teacher convention this weekend.
Oh,
We're
okay.
bringing the laptop, so trust me, that laptop and phone will be
Will be
on.
utilized.
Last
Nice.
week I had the Park Ridge game on. I had the Beckton game on. I
Mhm.
had the 3 game. I had games going on. So I had what else? I had another game that wasn't even in the Oh my god, I can't even think of the other game that was on. It wasn't an NJIC game. Oh no, it's an NJIC, so I shouldn't say that. But you didn't hear me. I had a couple other games on.
No,
I had a bunch of your games. I had like 4 tabs open. So
that's
it
awesome.
always yells at me. You gonna have the audio on? Well, I need some audio on. I mean, come on. I gotta listen to what these guys are saying. So let me ask you. Oh, I'm sorry, Zach. Go ahead.
No, go right ahead. Yeah.
I'm going to start with you right here. How impressed are you with Beckton?
So that was a huge win for them. Hanover Park, that's the team I follow the closest out of anybody. And I will say this. I don't want to take anything away from Beckton, but I think Hanover Park came out pretty flat in that game. And I don't think they were ever able to recover. However, in addition to that, this might be the best game that Beckton's played this year. Elijah Davis was unbelievable. Threw the ball for 39 times, also ran it 23 times for 2 touchdowns. But the big key in that game and the player that they really couldn't stop was Lucas Frank. Now, his numbers might not completely jump off the page to you. 12 catches, but only for 78 yards. But all 78 of those yards were incredibly important. They're mostly little runs to the flat to the outside, but they seemed like they always picked up a first down. So just being able to dink and dunk and go for these little plays. They didn't have a lot of huge chunk plays in that game, but I was very impressed with Beckton. I think this is the best that they've played all season. And I think that they should feel incredibly good about themselves beating a team of the caliber of Hanover Park, because they were just coming off a great win, 2 great wins against West Essex and Waquaic. So to not only beat an undefeated team like that, but they did it on the road and to advance in the playoffs. It's not going to get any easier for them, though. Madison would scare me a lot if I was a Beckton fan.
Well, I'm sorry. Can I just go real quick? My second part of that first.
Yeah.
You kind of answered it. Elijah Davis, right? I mean, we saw him in making big time plays in the Lyndhurst game and then the Garfield game and all those games and just how good was he in that game?
Well, I mean, yeah, if you look at the box score, it gives you a pretty good idea. He was really that good. Whenever they needed him to do something, he got it done in that game, whether it was, a quick little short run, whether it was a throw in a tight space. There were a couple passes here and there, maybe early and maybe at the beginning of the second half that were not maybe ones he would want back. But besides that, I mean, his decision making was incredible. I mean, picking up the reads as a passer, knowing when to tuck and run as a runner. Elijah Davis was the real deal. That was a big time player in a big time moment, getting it done against a really, really tough and hard hitting defense. You have to be pretty fearless to run against that Hanover Park defense as a quarterback.
It's funny. I feel like I feel like we personally have watched Elijah grow.
Yep,
Don't you?
we had him on as a
Since we're doing
freshman.
this show, we had him on as a freshman, right? And it's funny to see, like, to just see his growth. It's really nice to see, and we're really happy for him and the team, of course. Zach, you mentioned how Hanover Park came out a little flat. I'm going to go off script a little bit here. It is so, I mean, this, that, like, you feel like state tournament game, everybody's going to automatically be hyped, but like, how many times do you see teams? It's just sometimes just not their day, right? Like, I just feel like I had that happen so many times. I'm like, how did we come out so flat? And what could be our last game? I just, like, you don't understand it, and you feel like they're so ready. So it's interesting to hear you say that.
Good
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
Because they're an amazing and I was even telling people around. I said, look, you play this game 100 times, Becton might win it 15 or 20, but that's it, right? That was one of the that was one of the 15 or 20, and it's not like they stayed flat. I mean, they took a lead in that game.
Yep.
But the fact that Becton was able to keep going after them, the big thing that the biggest factor, and again, it's super intangible, you can never measure it, but it is that killer instinct in the playoffs, right? Becton showed that killer instinct in that game. They noticed Hanover Park was perhaps a little vulnerable on that day for whatever reason. We'll never know, for whatever reason, and they were able to quite literally take it and run, especially in Elijah's case.
Yeah. Well, let's talk a little bit about, their next matchup against Madison. Now they're home. Madison was the 7 seed, knocks off the 2 seed. Madison, a 7 seed that's 6-3 with losses also to impressive teams, Hanover Park, Cedar Grove and Mountain Lakes. Your thoughts on that matchup?
So the last team that I would want to play in this bracket right now, it might not even be Shabbat. It would be Madison. They've been red hot. They've won 5 of their last 6 games, including wins against Sparta and Bernard. So the Morris Catholic win, the Pequannock win, nice wins over there. Lenape Valley, a nice win against a running team. But the Bernards and the Sparta wins really tell me a lot because they are so sound, especially Bernards. Bernards is really, really good, especially at beating teams that, they would be favored against normally. But the thing with Madison that everybody has to keep an eye on is Coach Chris Kubik he's been there for the better part of 2 decades now. He's won sectional championships with them before, but he announced at the beginning of the season that this was going to be his last season. So every game, it's his last game. And he's certainly coached that game against Bernards like it was his last. Going for 2 at the end, when they could have just tied it up, that was a gutsy call. And Luke McGuire was out, their top quarterback, who's been one of the highest rated passers in the state all season long and can run. So to make those play calls the way that he did with the personnel that he had, incredibly gutsy. Madison feels like they're playing with a little bit of house money, but also believe in themselves. So I think Madison is going to be a very tough test, even though Becton's at home. The Madison defense is good. The Madison defense is hot. And especially if Luke McGuire's healthy, that could be a long game. But, it could be a lot of fun. Again, Becton just proved that they could win a big one, and they've been battle tested this year. I mean, who else has played Butler twice? You're going to learn a thing or two from playing that team 2 times.
Real quick, if we could do 30 seconds, and again, if you can't do it, I know you guys cover games and with picks, not like picks. Just if you could just give me a 30-second clip, I'm going to go around the NJIC of who's left.
I'm ready.
All right. Ramsey, Glenrock. What do you got on that?
Ramsey. Ramsey's really tough. Yeah, I'm sorry. You want me to keep these quick, so Ramsey.
Okay. give me a thing. Okay.
Okay. Justice Vivada's on a heater. Ramsey, I got all the way.
New Providence, Hasbrook Heights.
Hasbrook Heights. I like New Providence a lot, but there's something special about this Hasbrook Heights team this year.
Okay. You gave me Madison Becton. New Milford, Butler, another rematch of a couple weeks ago.
I think Butler. That blue turf is hard to lose on at home in the playoffs.
Rutherford, Shabazz.
Shabazz, but don't be surprised if Rutherford gives them a real run for their money. But Shabazz did make it to the state finals last year, and they played against that undefeated Rumstead Fairhaven team very well.
And one more, we do have. I'm not sure if you covered any of Holy Spirit, but we got St. Mary's Holy Spirit in Procchio B.
I think Holy Spirit. It might be a long day for St. Mary's out there. Holy Spirit's just a little bit bigger. They were in our preseason top 20.
Okay.
All right. Well, I'm going to take it a step further. How many of the NJIC teams that are still alive you think can actually win their section?
So at the beginning, to win their section, I think Butler has a favorable bracket in front of them. If they win this next game, I mean, I think it's Heights, right? After
No,
that?
no, Butler would be. They're in a different bracket.
no.
Oh, right. They're on a different side.
They're in the group
Well,
one.
I mean, I like Butler. I don't see a reason that they could lose unless they're going against. Hold on, let me look at that bracket real quick one more time, just to make sure that I know exactly who's there. Because if Lakes is there, I might have a different answer. Just because Mountain Lakes is so good.
I think.
Okay. So the Butler's got either Kinnelon or Kittatinny if
Yeah.
they beat New Milford. I think Butler. Well, Butler Kinnelon. I mean, that's that they're like a mile apart. Like that, those schools.
Literally down 20.
So that game's a coin flip. I learned my lesson early in the season for betting against Kinnelon, but also I know I would learn my lesson for betting against Butler. I give Butler a slight edge to win that section.
Okay.
Let's see. Heights, if they win, they got to play either Cedar Grove or Lakes. I think both those teams are very, very scary. But if Hasbrook Heights does beat New Providence, that means they're good enough to beat Cedar Grove or Mountain Lake. So not the most fun answer in the world, but I give that a little bit of a toss up.
Fair.
I would honestly, if Glen Rock beats Ramsey and Westwood, they should throw a parade. I think Westwood is really, really, really good.
Yep.
Caldwell is really, really, really good. Ramsey's really, really, really good. I haven't seen a lot of Glen Rock this year, but
Great defense there, Zach. Great defense.
If you can stop what these teams are throwing at you, that's perfectly fine. And then I'm looking at. I mean, here's the thing: if Rutherford beats Shabazz, they win the section. I don't think Rutherford would lose to Madison. I think that Madison or Beckton would give them a run for their money. But if you're good enough to beat the Shabazz Bulldogs, you're probably winning that. So I think the team with the best chance to win their section is probably Butler. So I'd kind of go like Butler, maybe Heights, Rutherford, Glen Rock in terms of chance to win. Yeah.
Fair. All right. My last one for you, and you mentioned it before a little bit. You gave a little spoiler, but give me your schedule. Can you give everyone the schedule this week? Especially NJIC teams that's going to be on the Big State Sports Network.
So we have so many games this week, but I can just key in on the NJIC ones if you want. We got Madison Beckton at 6:00. I'm doing that game personally.
Oh, nice.
Very excited for that. I did the Beckton game last week in Hanover Park and got to know the team a lot better, so I'm doing that one. Ramsey Glen Rock, we have that one at 6. Rutherford Shabazz at 7. New Milford Butler at 7, and New Providence Hasbrook Heights at 7. We have all 5 of those games for free on Big State Sports. Again, you don't have to do anything except the same thing that you would do to watch this is go onto YouTube, and then you're good to go, and you can watch all 5 of them at the same time if you want, and you can always go back and rewatch them. We're really excited about our slate this week. Those 5 games are going to be huge.
Yep.
Yeah. Zach, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate
it.
And like we said, we just love what you guys do for all of high school sports. I mean, what you guys put out, I think I said to you when you were on the first time, I coached at Montville when you guys were Morris Sussex Sports. I mean, you used to cover us, right? So, I mean, it's just you give all of the high school sports, the credit that they deserve. So thank you so much for what you guys
and
do.
I'll just chip in again. And I think I said this to you last time, and you guys do like a professional. It's literally watching like a professional game, right? Like, and no shade to other networks, but Jen we watched a couple games this year, and I'm like, what is this? Like, first off, the game's not even on. They say it's on, it's not on. Then when it's on, you're like, how am I watching this game? I mean,
I'm just gonna give my favorite is when the quarterback throws the ball and then it's like out of the screen, but the camera stays. We're like, where did it go?
Where did it go? Like it's like I paid for that. But like, I'll be honest, you guys just do a phenomenal job, and I love love the Q&A show that you guys also do. I jumped the other day, and
Oh my God, yeah.
that's an awesome show.
We're gonna
you
be
guys
on
do.
tomorrow too. David and I are gonna be on tomorrow too. If you wanna pop in, it'll be a
Absolutely.
good time.
All right,
Yep.
Zach. Thank you again. Have a good
Thank you so much. Take it easy. Thanks again for having me on.
good
Thank
night.
you.
No problem. Bye-bye.
Okay, Zach Mullen from
From,
Big State Sports, and what a phenomenal job they do. I'm not lying. I'm trying to think the other game. It wasn't an NJIC game, but I don't remember. But I'll tell you, Friday night, like I said, we will be at the convention. But Jen, I will have that laptop. I'll be
know
ready
you
to go.
will.
I'll have the tabs open, and listen, all these NJIC games, I love it. And listen, he does an unbelievable job. Everybody over there at Big State Sports does an unbelievable job.
All right, well, let's move on to our next guest. We're going to bring from St. Mary's, Evan, quarterback. So let's get him in next. Let me grab him. Hey, Evan, how you doing?
How you guys doing?
Good. Thanks so much for joining us. So nice to have you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Our pleasure.
Evan, thank you so much for coming on. Big week this week, playoff week. My first question: how excited is this team looking forward to a playoff game this weekend?
Hey, we're pumped, man. Like we just got to go in. We practice hard every single time. This is no different from all our other games, but we're pumped. We're ready to go.
Nice. Let's talk a little bit about Holy Spirit. What I'm sure you guys have been breaking them down on film. What are some things you guys have noticed, seen from them, and talk about their strengths as a team a little bit?
They like to throw the ball a lot. That's definitely something they like to do.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna come back with one, and I said this when George Bruton was on because Coach Johnson, I love Coach Johnson, but every time,
Mhm.
hey, Coach, how's everything? You got to see this guy, I got whatever. So when he mentioned you, and you come in the Woodridge game, right? You came in the Woodridge game, and they moved Messina, and they bring you in, and I said, who's this guy slinging the ball around, running? I'm like, this guy's so fast. And I'm like, Coach Johnson wasn't BSing on this one either when he said he's got a good quarterback coming in. So, like, I give Coach Johnson credit, but I tell you, you're a tremendous athlete. And watching, I was just like, oh my God, this guy's fast. This guy's you're like a gunslinger out there.
Thank you so much. Appreciate
But,
that.
talking about that gunslinger, you guys, we've always said, like, you guys have so many offensive weapons, right? So how nice is it to have so many options, whether, again, Tortes, Messina, Brute, and all those guys and stuff like that? How nice is it? And can you talk a little bit about, like, how you guys all how you guys, like, all fit in together?
I mean, it's great, having those guys, like those weapons, it makes me like not have to be perfect, so I can rely on them a lot.
Nice. Evan, if I'm not mistaken, you faced a little adversity already in your young career with battling some injuries, right? I was wondering if you could talk a little bit about what your injury was, and then, of course, about your road to recovery.
Which injury are you talking about?
Did you have shoulder?
Oh yeah, I tore my labrum my freshman year.
How
So
and
yeah, I just
as a quarterback, I'm sure that's a huge
yeah,
thing.
100%. hmm
So, what was your recovery like for that?
I just did a lot of physical therapy. Just kept working at it, just kind of just stretching it and just trying to do my best to recover it, really.
What was it? What was it like again as a quarterback, knowing like that you rely on that so much, like getting back into it, like how again we've had our fair share of injuries.
Yeah.
I've had a bunch of knee surgeries. I know like you're always just like
Yeah.
jumping at the bit to get back on the field, right? Like what was it like for you to have to take your time maybe and work through that to get back to your true form?
I mean, it's always rough being limited to what your ability is. So it's just a matter of just being patient with it, just keep working at it, and just trying to get better with the injury.
And how are you feeling now?
Feeling good. Feeling
Good,
good.
good, good.
I got two problems. I'm going to ad lib one and then give him
Okay.
my last question. But again, I coached at St. Mary's for 7 or 8 years, so I kind of know like the quote unquote family atmosphere there. And I was an outsider. I wouldn't go to St. Mary's, but I would. They always say like I was like adopted, like adopted over there. But what would you say it is like when you talk about the St. Mary's family? Like since you've been there now, like can you talk a little bit about that when they say the St. Mary's family?
Oh, it's a brotherhood. It's a real brotherhood. When I first came here, I was very welcome to the brotherhood, and I just feel like these are my guys, these are my brothers, and I can call these guys family, definitely.
And
We
I'm sorry,
always get that feel
we
from
do.
the
Yeah,
St. Mary's
definitely.
players. And wait, I think today is Coach Sheridan's birthday.
Yes,
if I'm
I
not
think it
mistaken.
is.
So
I
Oh
think
yeah.
it is.
shout out to Coach Sheridan. Happy birthday.
The man. Evan, the future of St. Mary's football. Again, you guys got big game. Hopefully you guys get past this and you continue on a playoff run, but just the future of St. Mary's too. You're only a junior, correct?
Yes.
So looking forward, the future of St. Mary's also football program. What do you think?
I think we have a bright future. I think, we have a lot of young, big linemen that can definitely make a difference in this, for our team. And, it's about just developing them now, developing our young receivers, and just trying to get a good, healthy team for next year.
Well, anytime you got some nice, young, big offensive linemen,
Yeah.
that's pretty nice for a
Especially
quarterback, right? That's
yeah.
pretty
100%.
nice.
Evan, thank you so much for joining us. We really loved having you on. Good luck this week, of course, and we will be watching and watch you continue to grow as well. But good luck.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Appreciate this.
Our
Have a good one,
pleasure.
Evan. Thank you.
Good
You
night.
too.
Okay, Evan Cologne and Jen, I remember what Coach Johnson said, and I watched him in that Woodridge game, and they put him in and moved Messina to wide receiver. And I got to tell you, I mean, that just made this offense so much better now when Messina really is a receiver, right? So him and Hortez, Bruton now in the backfield, and Evan just, I mean, a gunslinger. He's mobile, he could run, he's fast, and again, he's got a bright future. Listen, they got a big game this week, right? I mean, they got a, Holy Spirit is, again, like Zach said, bigger, probably stronger. But hey, when you have athletes like this, you have a quarterback like this, and you got to go on the road, and you're playing us against everybody. And St. Mary's has always been known for big time upsets and games nobody thinks they can win. But I'll tell you, the future.
It's state tournament
Oh,
time,
absolutely.
Right? It's
Yeah.
0-0. That's what you love. Like,
Listen.
you throw everything else goes out the window.
And you know what, Jen, too? And you could say, you talk about the pressure, right? The pressure of, especially like when you're supposed to win that game at home, and like the longer you look, and it's still a game. It's still a game.
Right.
You get tight. And listen, it's just, hey, anything can happen. And just like Zach said, it doesn't matter. Hey, we would win 99 out of 100. You don't win that one, you don't advance.
Right,
So
when it matters. Yeah. Well, all right, moving on. We are going to move on to, we have Luke Johnson joining us from New Milford. So let me get Luke into the broadcast here. Hey, Luke, how are you?
Hello, I'm good. How are you?
Good. Thanks so much for joining us.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Our pleasure.
Luke, how are you? Can you talk a little bit about the big playoff win against Pagoda?
Yeah, I mean, it was a great team win. We like to judge our games based on our defense played, and our defense led up 21 points. So not the best week, but a win is a win, right?
Yeah.
Hey, and
as
you
long
know,
as you put up one more point.
And listen,
Awesome
hey,
pickup, right?
the Gonzalez boys over there, right? Jaden Gonzalez, a great player. And you know what? Hey, you guys contained them, right? He didn't go, we saw him go off in a bunch of games this year. You guys contained them to a point where you guys did your job. And hey, you guys ran the ball like you do. And you guys are a very dangerous team. That's all I'm going to say. Because you guys do. I say this on the show. What do I say on the show every time? What wins?
Defense.
And what else?
Running the ball.
Run the ball, play defense. That's what playoff football is about. And you know what? You guys
Right.
do it. You guys do it. So I always say when a football team can do it, you guys have a chance to win any game against anybody.
So before I get to my next question, Luke, you guys just faced Pagoda, right? You have Butler next. How do you feel? And about you're in the playoffs, but here you are seeing two NJIC opponents. Like, do you like that like it help you preparation wise, or do you wish you were kind of like, again, I know you'll play whoever's on your schedule, but like, that you get to the state playoffs and it's still NJIC teams. Is that like, how does that make you guys feel?
Well, quite frankly, we love to see it, right? We've been talking about it all year because, we lost them early in the year, and we love to get our revenge game, I guess you can say. We've been talking about it. We wanted Heights, but I got Butler, so.
I love it. That's good. Well, I was going to say, does it feel like it's helped you that you have already faced Butler, let alone just seeing an NJIC opponent? And follow up, what does your defense have to do to slow down David Smith and that Butler offense?
Well, yeah, Butler offense, the big question, right? David Smith, great player. I have nothing but positive things to say about them, but offense is a team sport, and I think if our 11 guys on defense each do their jobs, I think that gives us a good shot, right?
Nice.
Absolutely. And you know what? Let's switch it around. Let's go offensively, right? We mentioned the running game you guys ran for, I want to say it was over almost 300 yards last week. Run game with Jake and Kobe St. Hilaire and stuff like that. And obviously you guys doing your stuff up front. But how important is it that you guys establish that against a team like Butler? Not just for offense, but especially for the defense. Keep the defense off the field. Like you said, keep David Smith off the field, and hey, you guys chew up the clock and stuff like that. How important is that going to be to establish this run game this week?
Yeah, that's a great point. Keep them off the field, minimize mistakes. It can wear down on them. We have a great run team. So play defense, run the ball. Like you said, anything can happen.
And my last question for you, Luke, is, you guys, we said at the beginning of the show, first of all, congratulations on making the state tournament, but you guys are one of the, 7, 8, right? I just always say like the non-public hasn't played yet, but 8 schools that are left playing still like postseason play. Would you say that New Milford is back on the map of being a contender for the NJIC?
Well, here at New Milford, we've had a long tradition of making the state playoffs, and I know my freshman and sophomore year, we were kind of bottom of the barrel, but 2 years in a row, we've made the state semifinals. So I don't know. I hope that's an upward trend there. So I can see the future being bright here.
Good.
And you know what?
Good.
You guys talk about, I say this about a lot of teams, and we'll be talking about Glen Rock's always like that, and they're next. And you got physicality, like you guys are always known for a physical team. And again, hey, if you're physical and you play defense and you run the ball, listen, that again, you can go up against anybody and you guys are going to be in that game. Because to me, that's what wins. I've always said it. But no one's going to change my mind. It's great to have all this, glitz and glamour and all that. But hey, like they always say, you punch somebody in the mouth. Like that's how that's what you're going to see. That's what you're going to win in big time games.
Yes, I agree.
Luke, he probably says it in our household at least 3 times a day off the show.
I do. It's true.
It's all because of her coach. She's created an attitude here just like that. Got to be physical, got to play defense. That's his big thing.
That's it.
Nice. Luke, thank you so much for joining us. Best of luck to you this week.
Yes, thank you.
Good luck, Luke.
Have a good one.
Bye-bye.
Okay, Luke Johnson, New Milford. And hey, I'm telling you, Jen, we joke and we're laughing on the show, but I say it all the time. Run the ball, please, and that's what they do, And I'll always say, so we're going to break down the Butler game and the New Milford game. We'll break it down, but I think you have to play a certain way to be able to beat them. And New Milford they might have that what's the word I'm looking for? Formula of the way I think you have to do it. They kind of have that. So, and again, 28-14, that game was respectable last time. See him the second time around. So, hey,
absolutely.
Let's go.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Let's go. It's going to be a good one.
All right. I believe our next guest, Matt from Glen Rock, is in as well. So let's bring Matt in. Matt Boysitz from Glen Rock. Hey, Matt, how you doing?
Hey, guys. What's going on?
Nice to see you. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Matt, how are you? Great win last week. I will start by just asking you, can you talk a little bit about the great performance last week and getting the playoff win?
Yeah, it was a good team win. It was a Saturday 1:00 game. So, it was a really cool environment. And, we were facing a team who we're very familiar with. It was our 4th time playing Waldwick in the last 2 years. And, they had a good Russian attack that we had to figure out how to stop. We were able to hold them, able to make a play. We blocked a punt, went for a touchdown. Jack Spitt got his first touchdown as a lineman, which was pretty cool. So, yeah, it was a fun game.
And looking ahead, what are some challenges that you think your next opponent, Ramsey, poses?
Yeah, Ramsey's got a great offense. They got a really good quarterback. Another great offense we're going to have to play, but, we've been doing a good job all year of containing these explosive offenses. Obviously, Rutherford, Hasbrook Heights, really explosive offenses, and we've held them. So, it's another great challenge.
I'll before I get to this question, you just mentioned a great part because you talk about Rutherford still playing, right? You guys held them to 3, right? Heights were just putting up all kinds of crazy numbers, 40 points, 50, and you know what? You not to say shut them down, but you held them to way below like their average, right? But I want to get back to that Rutherford game real quick. I just want to go off script a little bit, right? So listen, that was a heartbreaking game. We watched it. That was one of the best games that we've watched all year. I mean, the physicality, both teams just crazy game. How hard was that to come back from? Like, did you guys just turn the page on that? Or like I said, just, hey, that for the NJIC playoffs, you guys could have been in there. Was that a tough one for you guys? And how'd you guys just turn the page real quick?
Yeah, I mean, that was definitely a tough game, but like just we had to look at the positives out of it. I never we didn't let them score a touchdown. Like they scored 3 points. I mean, Rutherford historically, they're always a really high scoring team. Like I can't even remember the last time they didn't score a touchdown. So like we just had to take the positives out of it and then, obviously get better after that. But we just knew like when you play a team that close and that good and you really frustrate them and they only score 3 points, you got something. There's something you're doing right there.
Yep. Can you talk a little bit about what you guys have to do offensive? We're talking about defense, but you guys play offense too, and you're a big role on. You have a big role in that. What do you guys have to do a little bit offensively this week against Ramsey?
I mean, it starts up front. I think the last week was our best offensive line performance. So hopefully we could ride that, be able to run the ball. And then, when you run the ball, it opens up opportunities to pass the ball. And, we just got to score more. We got to make more plays. Can't have negative plays. Can't have penalties, anything that kills drives. So, we just got to put up points. And, we definitely have the people to do it.
Well, you know what, Matt, you guys are arguably one of the best defenses in Northern New Jersey. Do you guys see yourselves as like a defensive team first? Like, do you consider yourself a defensive team?
I mean, yeah, it's for sure our identity. We try and play good defense. We bend, we don't break. Teams have to earn it on us. They're not like teams haven't hit us over the top a lot. Like they have to earn it. They got to earn it in the red zone. That's just kind of our identity.
My last one is, what would a sectional title mean to you guys at Glen Rock if you can get it this year?
Yeah, it would mean a whole bunch. I mean, it's my senior year, so especially after losing last year, like it would for sure mean a lot to this group of guys.
Well, I just want to say this, Matt. We saw you guys live versus St. Mary's last year in that semifinal game, and listen, you're a hell of a player. I mean, you're all over the field offensively, but defensively, I mean, you were in every tackle last year for St. Mary's. And, you watch that Rutherford game and you're in the play. So you're a great player. You guys got a great team and your defense. I mean, I just mentioned it before with Luke and saying it with New Milford, but when you have a great defense on any level, but if you have a good defense, you can beat anybody. You're going to be in the game with that. So listen, you guys are a great team, especially a great defense.
All right. Thank you guys.
Before I let you go, though, right? Kurt summed things up, but I got one more question for you. You guys are getting another home game. What will that home game playoff atmosphere be like?
Yeah, I mean, it's Friday night playoff game. Should be a really cool environment. We're probably gonna wear all black, so yeah, it's gonna be a cool game.
All right. Well, good luck to you, Matt. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Matt.
Good luck.
Okay, Matt Boyce from Glen Rock. I'm telling you, what a player, what a defense. I mean, we watched that Rutherford game, Jen, and both defenses were phenomenal. But that Rutherford, and he says that bend don't break. I mean, listen, Rutherford ran the ball. They had like 18 play drive, 19 play drive, and you know what? To hold them just to a field goal that game, and it's funny because the next guest is the one who kicked the field goal. But Coach Breslin, Jen, saying, "What's up, Kurt and Jenny?" Couldn't agree with you more, Kurt. We'll keep you in the game if you do those things.
Absolutely. I also think it's so important, right? Like especially if you feel like you're the underdog, right? Like you mentioned before, like time and possession, right, is so important. You gotta, sometimes you have to adjust maybe your game plan to make sure that you're doing can't score if you don't have the ball.
You know what though, Jen, before we bring Graham in, like it's kind of like a mentality set too, right? Like especially like a team like Ramsey is a very good offensive team, right? We know Coach Bear. I mean, he's a great offensive coach. He's gonna get, if you can go out there and first drive, boom, you shut them down. They come out again, boom, you shut them down. Like your mentality, and then even the other team offensively, they question themselves a little of like, whoa, like, we're used to like going down and scoring. And now it's like 2 drives we haven't scored. And it's just the thing you get from that defense. And then now that defense brings it over to the offense. And like I've always said, if you have that defense and you could trust that defense, and even from the offensive side, when you could trust your defense and people listen, Coach McCoy can trust that defense there in Glen Rock, they are going to be in every game because of that defense.
Yeah, well, Matt said it best. I mean, Ramsey is putting up points.
Yeah,
I mean, they are.
They got a
scoring
great
team.
quarterback from
We
out
know
there.
we have a lot of respect for Coach Bear over there as well. And their 2 losses this season are their opening season loss out of state, right, to
Yep.
out of state team, and to Westwood, right, who's like their kryptonite a little bit right now, but a very, very talented Westwood team and program. So it's going to be a battle of like an offense and a defense.
Yeah,
you know?
and one more thing, and again, not to knock the Glen Rock offense because they got great players in
Mhm.
Burkhardt and great stuff, players on that side of the ball too. But remember last year, and we always say this of how much they lost offensively, right? So like on the defense, you kind of can be like, hey, if we have a bad drive, we got that offense. They'll
Mhm.
just put up another touchdown. It's a little different this year. Like
Mhm.
there's a little more pressure on that defense because you know what? They're not going to go and score 30 and 40 a game. Like the higher listen, if Ramsey's in the 30s, that doesn't bode well for Glen Rock. Like that Glen Rock defense has to keep it low, and they've been doing that all year long.
Yeah.
They did it to Heights, right? I mean, look, Heights, no one's stopping Heights, right? They held Heights, I think what was it, 13 points or something to that point, 14 points. I mean, listen, that's Heights, you know what Heights can do offensively.
Right. Yeah, no, so I think that's going to be a great matchup. Yeah, it's going to be another good game. All right, well, our next guest is ready as well, and we are going to bring in Graham Jordan, the kicker from Rutherford. So let's get Graham in. Hey, Graham, how you doing?
I'm doing all right. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, you're all good. Welcome.
All right.
So good to have you.
I'm going to start by this. After the Glen Rock, after we just had Glen Rock on, but after I don't know if Glen Rock wants to see you on the screen right now, but after the Glen Rock, when you kicked that field goal, we said to Jen, we didn't get Graham on. So what do? You kick one versus Hoboken, so we had to bring you on. So you made us look smart. Like
Yeah.
But my first question, give me your thoughts. What are the thoughts going through your mind on that last offensive drive? You guys are driving down. It's, hey, any kind of points wins that game. And then what's your thoughts when Coach Dunn calls for the field goal attempt in that game?
Yeah. So, I mean, when our offense first got the ball, in my mind, I'm thinking, all right, I got to be ready to go here. Tie game, 2 minutes left. I mean, we have a great offense. I had no doubt that they were going to get us down there in position. I actually thought towards the end there, we were actually going to get in, score a touchdown. We got awfully close, but we ended up, losing some yardage there. And then Coach Dunn called my name, and I had to be ready. I had to do it for the guys. So I was glad that I was able to show up in a moment like that for them.
All right, and now the second part of the question. So 2 huge game-winning field goals, right? Obviously, you beat Glen Rock, you beat Hoboken. How much more popular are you now, like walking in the halls after these 2 field goals? That's what we want to know.
Yeah, no, it's definitely earned me some street credit. Rutherford, it's a great community. We have a lot of great fans. It was really nice to see everyone reaching out to me after the game saying, it was a great performance for me. They had my back. They're like, way to go, Graham. So it's awesome to have fans like that who have your back no matter what. I knew even if I missed the kick, they still would have been there for me. But yeah, it's awesome to see those fans really come together and rally behind me.
That's so nice. Graham, we've had, kickers on the show. We actually had a kicking coach on the show once as a guest. And we talked a lot about the mental part of being a kicker, right? Like that there's a huge mental aspect to it. So here we are in the game, right? Hoboken calls 2 timeouts trying to ice you, right? How did you feel affected? How did you get through that? Tell us a little bit about how you called on your mental toughness.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, the biggest thing, obviously, kicking is 100% mental. But with that being said, it's important to not try to suppress the nerves. You more just have to embrace them. Obviously, in a moment like that, really nerve-wracking. But when you practice as much as I do, when you practice as much as my team does, and when you have coaches that prepare me for moments like that. A great special teams unit that can block for me, snap for me, hold for me. It's pretty easy. They make it easy for me. So moments like that, obviously I get a little nervous, but when you think about the people I have with me, the people I have surrounding me, it makes it a lot easier for sure.
Graham, give us like kind of like what's your typical day of practice? Like, how does that go?
So it's pretty interesting actually. I usually get down there same time as everyone else, and then I do tackling stations. Just in case on kickoff I have to make a tackle. So I'm prepared for anything in moments like that, and then we go like defensive indie, so everyone goes to position groups, and that's usually when I go off. I do my own thing. Either I'll kick field goals, do kickoffs, onside kicks, do a lot of different stuff, all in that kind of like same realm. But after that, we have like our defensive team sessions and then special teams. And after special teams, I'm done for the day. So you go out into offense, and then my job's done. There's not really much for me to do after that. So it's not really popular with my teammates. I get to see them leaving early. But
Listen, you keep making those field goals,
Yeah.
they're not going to say anything to you.
yeah, for sure.
Graham, what did it feel like when your kick went through and your teammates are celebrating, the place is going nuts? Describe that scene Saturday after you kicked the game winner.
I mean, there's really nothing quite like it. Like when you sign up to be a kicker, you sign up for moments like that. Like that's the dream right there. A state game winner, whole town there watching, and like the relief that you have seeing that ball go through the uprights. There's really just nothing quite like it. And then obviously my teammates, I love all of them so much. They were the first ones there to support me right away. Like they came up, hugging me, crazy celebration on the field, crowd going wild. It was awesome. Yeah.
I got to tell you, I watched that whole game. That was such a great game. And you know what? Hoboken was a great team. And I said to Jen, they were like devastated at that game, 9-0, and you lose like that. And it's tough because we said this last week, and I think Kenny was saying it too, like that, you guys are two great teams to be playing in. I mean, listen, you're in a great bracket, right? So, but a first round matchup, a quarterfinal matchup is one of those teams is going to go home. And hey, you guys got through, but Hoboken's a great team too. And you guys got a tough one this week, but you guys are a great team also. So that's listen, that's what it is. But, I give Coach Dunn a lot of credit, and this is going to be my last question for you, but it's not easy as a head coach where it's not like it's, college or NFL, and it's like, okay, just inside the 20, go kick a field goal and win the game. Like it just, a lot of high school coaches aren't going to do that, and a lot of teams are going to just keep their offense on and say, listen, I don't have to worry about a bad snap, a kick getting blocked, and then the kicker missing the kick. I'd rather just have my offense, try to throw a 4th and goal in there. But Coach Dunn now twice in big games has shown the confidence in you and say, hey, go kick it, go win the game. So how nice is it to have the confidence of Coach Dunn to be able to call on you and win a game like that?
It's awesome. Yeah, it just goes back to the support that I have around me. Like you said, usually coaches wouldn't really just throw out a high school kicker in moments like that. But Coach Dunn, he believes in me, and I think my coaches believe in me, and that's really it's a great thing. They see me at practice every day. They know, I work hard, for the team. I prepare myself for moments like that. And when they, make the decision to put me out there, I try my best not to let them down. So, yeah.
Graham, before we let you go, your thoughts on Shabazz. What are you guys preparing for as you head there for your next round matchup?
Yeah, great team, obviously. Gonna be a tough matchup for sure there Friday night. But we're probably, we're not going to switch things up too much. We're just going to keep doing things the same way. Hopefully, it's been working for us so far. It's going to be a tough matchup for sure. But if we play the way we have been playing all season, we rally together, everyone does their job. I think we beat anyone, honestly.
All right, Graham.
I agree with you, Graham.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
Graham, thank you so much for joining us, and good luck in the next round matchup.
Yep. Thank you, guys.
Have a good night.
Thank you, Graham. All right, Graham Jordan and Jen, listen, there are not a lot of high school coaches that will say, all right, let's kick it. They don't, it's just, hey, put the offense on. But with Coach Dunn, he's got the confidence. I'm just going to say this, okay? And I don't want to give too much stuff away. But I've been saying, and if Coach Johnson's watching, he knows, but there was an offensive set I just used to love it. And this past weekend, I saw a team. We called it like unbalanced trips. Okay. We called them we did it with 2 backs, but I saw a team. I'm not going to give a hint, that ran it with 1 back. They did a little, and they came out in it. Then they did a flop. Then they made it where put the guy in they put him on the line with the trips, put him off the line. Like, listen, and all I'm going to say is when this team needed it, 2 drives, boom. But listen, you can't, I'll say it again. You can't play zone against it. And if you're going to do a quarterback run game against it, you cannot stop it. It's so hard to stop it. It's just, you gain so many people. And I'm not going to go into more because I don't want to, we don't know who's watching, but I got to tell you this though, Jen. I was so fired up because I said, oh my God, they're running the set. And you know what? They couldn't stop them.
Yeah,
that's all I'm going to say. Yeah. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Well, before we move on to our next guest, we'll talk a little bit more about that Rutherford-Shabazz matchup, right? I mean, last week, we talked a little bit about Shabazz as they took on Lyndhurst, and you want to talk about weapons. Oh my gosh. I mean, you got 4 or 5 players that can run it. If that's being taken away, they got another 4 or 5 that, as receivers. I mean, just the amount of, talent. But you know what? As we're preparing for the show tonight, and I'm revisiting Rutherford's roster, what was I saying to you? Do you remember? You don't really listen, so let's see if you're...
about all the young, the tall.
We've seen them. We've talked about them. But I was like, oh my gosh, he's 6'5". They got another 6'3".
Especially the wideouts. Yeah, they're big receivers.
Well, they're line
they're
too.
Big receivers.
They're line too.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean. We've seen them, but again, I'm not counting them out on this matchup at all.
I'm not going to count them out. Listen. Watch my pick later. I'm not counting them out because I'm just going to tell you, listen,
foreshadowing.
What haven't they done? Right? What haven't they done? Like last year, it's a down year. And I've said this about what made me really, listen, Rutherford's a great program, but last year when Waldwick took it to them opening week, you were like, oh, Rutherford's not going to, and you know what? Rutherford came back and they lost a heartbreaker to Glen Rock, right? Mm-hmm. Then they lost to Bernard's in that playoff game in a close game, right? I think Bernard's wound up winning the section, right? This year, you beat Glen Rock, okay? You come back, you beat Hoboken. Listen, they lose to Butler. But, let me just tell you this. How good is Butler? I'll use Pat McAfee's words in this. Butler's just a wagon. Butler beats everybody. So, when you're looking, don't just – in that game – they were up 7-0 on Butler, right? Close game and a half. Listen, Rutherford is legit. Rutherford does everything, right? You need a quarterback. They got a quarterback. You need offensive weapons. They got weapons. You need to be able to run the ball. You saw what they did versus Glen Rock, run the ball. You need a defense. They defense. A kicker, right? The coaching staff. And offensive sets, right? They do everything. That Rutherford has everything. Rutherford's not going to be afraid going to Shabazz. Right? They're not. Shabazz is a great team, right? Zakir, best defensive player. You got to see this kid. That's a kid Rutherford has to block. This kid's going to be on every tackle, right? And like you said, they run the ball. They ran it for 270 versus Lyndhurst last week. But listen, this is different. It's not oh my God, they're going to have big eyes. We can't. They could do this. Why can't they do this? Right? Rutherford's used to doing this. Okay? Listen, and you have a quarterback that's won before and stuff like that. Wait till the pick segment. That's all I'm going to tell you. Wait till the pick segment.
All right. Well, let's bring in our next guests. Our next guests are from Hasbrook Heights. So let me bring in Brady and Harris. Let me bring them both in. Hi, guys. How you doing?
Hi. Good. How are you?
Good. Thank you. Thanks so much for joining us, guys. We are joined by Brady Shine of Hasbrook Heights and his teammate Harris. Harris, I'm going to ask you to say your last name for me, if you don't mind.
It's Cromanhawk.
Roman Hawk. Okay, thank you. I know I didn't want to say it wrong, so thank you for doing that.
Well, I'm going to start by we're talking about weapons. There's no. This is the team of weapons.
Segue.
This Heights team is just. I am a fan. Guys. I don't know if you ever know this, and I'll tell you this. I'm Coach Surrey. I coached at Ramapo and St. Mary's. We had a couple battles with Heights, but I started my coaching careers when I was younger in junior football and
Oh my gosh.
Elmwood Park
We've
and Heights.
been
So
saved from this story all
I
year
always
long,
hated
hearing it.
Heights. I always hated Heights because it was Elmwood Park and Heights. But now you guys, I love this team. Your offense, I love it. So I want to thank you guys a little bit for this. But Brady, I'm going to start with you. Can you talk a little bit about the performance last week? I caught a little. We were running around. We put the game on, and all of a sudden, I'm like, oh my God! Like Heights is up 3 scores. Heights is up 4 scores against a talented Woodridge team, a team that's close to right across the street from you guys. Can you talk a little bit about that game, Brady?
Yeah, all the players I needed executed. Me, Jalil, Nab, Haynes, Nico, and the front line, they started it all.
All right, and Harris, I want to look ahead to New Providence with you. Tell us a little about their strength. They're coming into you guys undefeated. What do you guys have to do to be successful?
On offense, our biggest thing is we have to stay on our blocks. Everyone has to, have the technique down to a T. We have to block up to the second level, can't just block that front D line. And on defense, we just have to shut down the run game, force them to throw. That's what we try to do every game. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
I'm going to come right back to you, Harris. And again, we saw you guys live versus the St. Mary's game. And, I don't know. I just thought we were so impressed with you. We knew how good your offense is, but I just thought we were so impressed with your defense, right? I mean, obviously St. Mary's had a lot of weapons earlier on in the season and stuff like that. And you guys were like, hey, all right, give a little. But then when the money was on the line and you guys had to stop them, you guys made play after play after play. And you guys have been doing that all year long. So can you talk? I know you mentioned a little bit about, but you guys defensively this week, or even in any playoff game, I've always said, defense wins championship. And I'm an offensive guy, but I still say defense wins championship. So just the mentality of your defense. Can you just talk a little bit about it?
Going into this game against New Providence, the team who ended our season last year, it's definitely we want to go in there and we want to show them that we're a different team and that they can't stop us no matter what we do. We're going to give them our best game. They're going to give us ours, and we're going to do what we do every game. We're going to run the ball. And yeah, but on defense, we just got to play lights out. Everyone has to do their 111th, can't take a play off.
You got to give Coach Bertola. Coach Bertola is a great friend of us, so you got to make sure you give him a hello from us tomorrow, please.
Brady, I'm going to come back to you on this one. New Providence has only given up 54 points all year. So what do you guys need to do against this stingy defense to make sure that you are getting those points on the board?
Everyone's got to do 111th. We got to stay on our blocks. Front line's got to block, and receivers got to catch the ball and block on the perimeter.
I'm going to come to both of you guys on this one. Brady, I'll start with you, right? A lot of people say there's nothing like, a Friday night game at Heights, under the lights and stuff like that. So this just isn't a regular Friday night game, though, at Heights, right? This is a state sectional semifinal game, right? Versus an undefeated team, versus a team that ended your season, and you guys get them in your building. So just what is that atmosphere and what's it going to be like when you guys run on that field Friday night?
We're all going to be hyped. The fans are going to got to be loud. And then, yeah, sorry.
How about you, Harris? Want to add on to that at all?
Can you say the question again?
Yeah, just Friday night, the atmosphere. People are just people always say it's so hard to beat Heights on a Friday night, in Heights and stuff, on a regular Friday night. But now state sectional semifinal there, what do you expect that place to be Friday night?
I hope it's going to be packed. I'm pretty sure it will be because state semifinal in the playoffs. Who doesn't get excited for that? But yeah, we just have to. We're in our own home. We're comfortable. We're in our locker room. We don't have to take that long drive up. So yeah,
big advantage, right? That's a huge advantage. Being home, you don't have to take that ride. And listen, it's people say, oh, it doesn't matter. That matters. I think that matters a lot.
All right, Harrison Brady, thank you so much for joining us tonight. We appreciate your time and best of luck next round.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Good luck, guys.
Good night.
Okay, Hasbro Kites, and listen, we talk about weapons every week, Jen, and hey, they're gonna have their hands full, but at home, big advantage, right? Like you said, you're on the field your time, you have your dinner, whatever you got to do, you get out there, you don't have to worry about leaving early and stuff like that. And listen, this team's gonna come to play if Heights can run the ball. Jen, if Heights can run the ball, that opens everything up. Brady Shine over the top and their big shots. And Nico Nipatella has been having a sensational season.
Mhm.
Not just running. I mean, he's a dynamo, like running the ball, but throwing the ball,
Right.
right? Like the play action is because, like I've always said, like when teams have to worry and put 8 and 9 in the box, and now it's one-on-one with a kid like Brady Shine. I mean, what do you do defensively? It's just they have to be able to run the ball. If they establish running that ball, they're going to be fine Friday night.
It's going to be interesting to see. Like we said, New Providence not really giving up a lot of points and coming into Heights undefeated. I mean, there's just something, we talk about this a lot too. Like when you're an undefeated team, the confidence you build game after game, you got a little swagger to you no matter where you go when that happens, so it's just going to be interesting to see.
But if you look when you talk about confidence, though, with Heights, though, right? To get a loss, they got upset that first game and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's a long time ago, right? Their only loss, Butler. Honestly, it's really the only game Butler, and we know how good Butler is,
Mm-hmm.
right? And Butler is definitely a favorite in their section and stuff like that. We're going to have David on in a second. But to have that confidence of being able to play and say, hey, you're a quarter away from beating Butler on the road, right? I think they were on the road. I'm pretty sure they're on the road. But anyway, that game, why aren't they going to have the confidence? Like, you're going to have two teams full of confidence.
Right.
You know what I'm
right,
saying?
Yeah.
And when you have an offense like that can just score. I mean, listen, I think they have it. Listen, me personally, I think they're the favorite in this game on Friday night.
Are you talking about Heights?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I do.
Well,
I do.
I mean, they technically are the
Well,
favorite.
but I'm saying the record. I mean,
I think most
again, we'll see during the
we're
pig
not-
segment. We'll
yeah,
see during
okay.
the pig segment. Pig segments don't lie. That's all I'm gonna say.
Well, you know what? We don't have David yet, so
Okay.
but we do have Eli. So let's jump ahead and welcome Eli from Becton, our quarterback from Becton.
Kenny has a question real quick before I get Eli in.
Okay.
He's saying, Kurt, but I'm going to throw it to you. Jen, in your opinion, has this been the best NJIC season in all that you can remember from top to bottom?
Well, you know what? I that's a hard question. I'm going to say I might be a little biased because I feel like since we've been doing this NJIC specific show, I feel like we've gotten to know the team so much better that I feel a little more well versed every season just specific to this conference. So I don't know if I'm biased by saying I do think it's been a really good. I mean, look how many teams you have represented in the NJSIA tournament alone,
Right.
and that so many teams really like any given week, really could have. I do feel like there's a widespread
where I
talent
agree
level.
with him, I
Mhm.
agree with him is because just like you said, Heights. Listen, we picked them in the winning section final. They didn't get to the NJIC playoff, right?
Right.
New Milford still alive.
Glen
Rock still.
Mhm.
Those teams didn't get to the NJIC playoffs, right? And
Becton.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well,
mhm.
Becton went to the playoffs, but
Oh, I thought you meant in
but
the
I'm saying,
finals.
but
I
I'm
was
saying,
thinking Butler.
but what I'm saying is, you're talking like those teams, like so to that part. You got Pagoda, St. Mary's, like those teams can. I'm not gonna. Listen every week. Woodridge. So this is a good year.
Yeah.
This has been a lot of
just,
good teams.
Honestly, just tons of talent.
Oh, and then I'm saying Rutherford, but I'm saying Rutherford's in it. I'm saying
Right,
like Rutherford's in it, obviously, but
Yeah. And just the talent across the board has been impressive week after week.
we're getting comments saying, "Where's the dogs?
Where's the dog?
Where's the dogs?
Or like
The Butler Bulldogs."
Oh, there. You know what?
He's here.
David is in. So
Let's get
actually,
him in.
so Eli, I know he's been waiting. So, but we're gonna just stick to the order there. So let's bring in David Smith, quarterback from Butler.
There he
Oh,
is.
guys.
David, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. Welcome back. Good to see you again.
Great.
We missed you last week. We missed you. We didn't have you.
Yeah, I know. I had to show Evan some love. So.
All right, there you go. Well, he deserved it. We give him credit. All right. So since we missed you last week, David, let's bounce back 2 weeks. Two-part question, but part one. Can you
Okay.
talk a little bit about that NJIC championship win over Rutherford?
Oh man, that might be in the top 3 for my favorite games I've ever played. Usually, as of recent in high school, we haven't been like down early to start and like getting stopped offensively often. So I think we had three and outs to start the game.
Well, you know what's so
And
funny, Dave? So Jen, I'm not sure where you were. You ran out somewhere, and or I don't know. And I think she called me. She's like, "What's going on?" I'm like, "Butler went 3." And I said, "Butler went 3 and out 3 times in a row." And I said, "Rutherford scored on their first drive." She's like, "No." I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "We got a game here tonight. We
yeah,
got a game." But it was a great game.
yeah. So we started off kind of like behind the sticks a little bit, and we kind of battled back from being down early. It really like I feel like that game in itself was kind of like a symbol of what this team is this year. Like we're gritty and we're like kind of like prepared for things to kind of go south and we're ready to turn it around. So for us to come back there and run away with it at the end too, there's a lot of big plays. A lot of people stepped up and some people went down. It really just like encapsulated everything our team stands for this year, and I'm happy we were able to get it done. It was kind of like a mission accomplished thing, but we still got some more stuff to do.
Nice.
My second part, can you talk a little bit about last week, rematch, quarterfinal matchup against Hawthorne? Can you talk a little bit about that game real quick?
Definitely. When you play a team twice, you know it's going to be pretty gritty the second time around, especially when it's an NJIC opponent. They got great coaches over there at Hawthorne, and they're going to find what worked well against us, what didn't, and they're going to come up with a good game plan. They came down here. They came down to Butler, and they played a tough game. They played it really tough. We kind of started off a little slow, but we were able to pick it up towards the end. And yeah, every time you play a team twice, you know it's going to be way close, and it's going to be a challenge, especially when it's an NJIC divisional opponent.
Well, you know what? You're going to have that again, right? Coming up. So you got New Milford again in your next round
Yep.
matchup. So I have a 2-part question for you two. First, talk a little bit like that first New Milford matchup, and then tell us a little bit about some things that like impresses you about New Milford as a team.
Oh yeah, the first time we played them, you know, it was on a Saturday morning, and they played us pretty tough. They got a lot of talent over there, from their running backs to quarterbacks, their defense. They got great talent, great coaches. So we knew what we were getting into that game. No one thought it'd be easy, and it's definitely not going to be easy this time. Nothing changes, especially it's a divisional opponent, so there's already going to be a lot of grit there. So that first time, the score doesn't tell anything different either. What, 28-14, I think.
Yeah.
So they're going to come out and they're going to give us a really good fight. I think it's going to come down to the last play, to be honest with you. We're prepared to play 4 quarters in overtime. You know, we're not, I don't even want to say underestimating them because we know how talented they are. They got great players, and I think we match up well. So I think it might be 1 seed versus 4 seeded, but I'd put us on a pretty even playing field. They got great coaches and great players over there. There's nothing but respect for their whole team.
And you know what? We had Luke on before, and I say it all the time. You hear me say it. It's run the ball and play defense, and that's what New Milford does. And you know what? I've said if you have a team like that, especially come postseason, and we mentioned this last week. Well, maybe with Eli, that was a little outlier, but I said, listen, you don't know. You're playing in rain, you're playing in wind, and you better run the ball. You better be able to run the ball and play defense. And New Milford has that. So, like you said, I think it's going to be it's going to be a nice matchup. I'm really excited to watch this one. I really am. But my next question for you is, and I kind of think I know how you're going to answer it, but I still want to ask you. So, first off, Coach Luciani last week when we asked him, and I'm gonna. Oh,
That's
but
my
I know it's another question, but
question.
he said, you're the best player in the NJIC. I know, I agree. I don't want to speak for Jen. I agree with the same thing. So, but is it tough sometimes when you get a team, right? And kind of Rutherford did it, right? Where Rutherford said, "Listen, we're not going to let David Smith beat us. So, hey, if other guys beat us, listen, we're going to take him away." And not that Rutherford took you away. I mean, you had a fine game, but early on, hey, we're going to do it. You guys had to go other places. Now, hey, you guys have the other players to do it. Now our team's going to say, okay, now we're in trouble, and now you guys can do whatever you want. But is it frustrating a little bit, or is it tough for you to say, hey, listen, it's not me today. I got to get everybody else involved because they're going to try to take me away. Is that a little tough as a quarterback, or do you just be like, hey, whatever it takes to win, that's what we're going to do?
Yeah, First of all, I'm honored that Coach L would say that about me, but I don't even think I'm the most talented player on my team. So, but I think if teams are going to go about that, and like Rutherford did, they really like limited me in the run game. Uh, Look at my supporting cast. I'm ready to spread the
Yep.
ball around. I have no problem with that, and I wasn't. It didn't take me to like tell the team, "Hey, they're coming after me. We got to spread the ball around." Everyone's just we're ready to go, and our game plan isn't run me till the wheels fall off. We have everybody involved, and we have a bunch of different like plans for if one thing doesn't work and stuff. So there's really no hesitation when it comes to getting like other people as the game changer. I guess if it's me, so be it. But in the end, like what you saw in the Rutherford game that we keep going back to, Evan stepped up. CJ stepped up. Everybody made a bunch of great plays, and it all comes together in the end. I don't really care what it takes, but whatever it takes to win.
Ray Greg saying David may be the first. I guess he's asking or just making a point. David may be the first Butler QB ever with 1,000 yards rushing and passing, is what he's saying.
Oh, no. Well, you know what? Last week, Kurt did ask Coach Luciani, like when all is said and done and, the season ultimately comes to a close, like where would you be? Like, what would your legacy be in Butler football? And he said that David Smith would go down as one of the best ever, right? So what does it mean to you to have Coach Luciani hold you in such high esteem?
I came on the podcast earlier before, and I said like the trust between me and Coach L is like unbelievable, and it's like unlike any other staff I've ever had. It's really just like a family, and I feel it there. He's my coach. He's gonna gas me up a little bit. I don't want to like speak about anything like that until it's all said and done because I still got a few more games to play. I'm extremely thankful that he sees me in that way and that like uh, people think I'm that talented, but really, I play the game my coaches make for me, the game plan. So that's really all that comes down to. For the comment, Ray Gregg is actually one of my old youth coaches, and he he does the stats for our team. I checked with another one of our coaches, and there is a QB, I believe, from the '90s who had a 1,000 each. So it might not be the first.
Let me ask you this: you had 5 rushing touchdowns last week. Is that right? You scored 5.
Think so.
Yeah. Is that any type of school record, or you don't know since you got the stat guys? Just kidding.
Probably not. We got a bunch of talent to come through our school
Okay.
history, so I'm not going to assume anything was a
Well,
record.
that was a nice feat as well.
Well,
Yeah.
since we're making this comment, we have another comment. That's from Coach Catrona. By the way, Saddlebrook team's hot.
Yeah,
They've been hot.
absolutely. Yeah.
Watch out for Saddlebrook next year.
And the white pants.
And the
right?
white pants. But he said best player in NJIC.
There you go.
So that's from
Okay.
Coach Catrona at Saddlebrook. And when he wears the white pants, Dave, listen, they're tough, man. It's like, like when, Notre Dame wears this, it's like when he wears the white pants, that's when you got to watch his outfit. My next question is, I love Coach Luciani. We're like this, right? With our Knicks and nothing to worry.
Yep.
But you know what? I never got my sectional championship gear last year from Coach Luciani. So just send them that message. Say, get
What's
Curtis.
up with that?
All right, what's going on with that? Listen, I have a lot of Nick gear. I don't want him sending me another Brunson shirt. I want a Butler sectional champion shirt. All right. So just make sure you say, hey, Kurt never got it from last year. He said he was going to get it. That's so we'll get it from there. But otherwise, what would it mean for you guys to get to another sectional final?
Obviously, 1 week at a time, but to make it there would be we talked about like my personal legacy. I think it would definitely add to that and get me in the conversation in my eyes for like Butler history, but really just for the team. We said it earlier about the NJIC championship, and it's no different for the section. To do it twice with this team we got now, it's like writing our own story. We're focused on 1 week at a time, though. We got our game Saturday. We're still fine tuning the game plan and getting ready for that, and we don't want to look ahead. But obviously that's every team's end goal. And to walk away with some jewelry on your hand, that means a lot for your team and for the culture of the school in general and everybody that comes to the games. It really just shows like everything we work hard for, and that's the end goal. But game on Friday, hopefully it's a good one. Hopefully you come out on top.
Well, I'll just say one more thing is, we talk about in a lot of these games we can talk, but just like you said, I mean, yourself and all your, your weapons, like you were saying, Evan, and the great group on that side. And then you got the New Milford and Kobe and the Johnson guys and the coaching staffs. I mean, the amount of and how physical you are, how physical they are. It's just, this is going to be a great matchup. And if someone wants to watch a playoff game this week, I would say go watch New Milford and Butler, because the talent on both sides is just going to be, and you see it on the blue turf. That's even the best part. You get the blue turf. So go watch it.
I'm right there with you.
David, thank you so much. It's always a pleasure to have you on. We love chatting with you. Good luck to you this week.
And thank you for the audio clip. Next week we will get that on.
My fault that I didn't set it up. Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you guys for having me.
Listen for it next week.
Gotcha.
All right. Good night.
Thanks, Dave. All right, Jen, there he is, David Smith. And listen, when you're getting comments from Coach Catrona, we know about Coach Catrona and stuff like that. But hey, this is going to be, I'm telling you, this is going to be a great game, because New Milford has that formula. I think, again, you have to beat them a certain way. And when you have a kid like St. Hilaire and Johnson boys, and, they're going to be physical. And listen, Butler's going to get tested. And, hey, Dave's going to have to be on his A game. He will. And Evan and that group, and that made the plays in Rutherford, Jen. It's going to be a lot of star power in this game.
Yeah. Our next guest, I don't think we told him that he's our top dog for the week. So Bo's top dog this week is Elijah Davis from Becton. Bo's top dog is sponsored by Puppies and Tattoos Dog Grooming, with locations in North Arlington, Montclair, Fairlawn, and a mobile dog grooming service as well. Elijah this week in state tournament action threw for 204 yards, rushed for 166 yards, and had a total of 4 touchdowns, 2 that he passed for and 2 that he rushed for himself. So here tonight with us, we are going to welcome Eli from Becton. Let me grab him here. Hey, Eli, how are you?
I'm doing all right.
Good. Welcome back, and congratulations on being our top dog of the week.
Thank you so much. I'm really honored.
Well, the first thing is, if you were on the Jets, you would have got traded today too, because the Jets cleared everybody today. So I see.
Hey, we're preparing for the future here, man.
Listen,
for a first round draft.
Just go do this. I'm going to say this one more time. Don't worry about what he's doing this year. Save your draft picks and go get Arch Manning. I don't want to hear he's not doing. He's a Manning. He's a Manning. Mannings never fail. They never fail.
This one might.
Wait 1 year. Just do whatever he's got to do. But all 7 of those picks, go get Arch Manning.
I'm more of
for 20 years.
I'm more of a Marcel Reed kind of guy.
All right, now listen. I can't give you one. Listen, he's an athletic player. But I'm going to be honest. I don't know how this is going to go, because I don't have any notes and any questions for you. So I don't know what I did. So I'm going to go off the schedule here. But I'm going to say this. I compare a lot of quarterbacks. Okay, so there's my question. So I'm going to go totally off script on this. And last year, obviously, Jonathan Palsy was the quarterback on the team. And I compared him to who? Tebow. So you know what? By watching Eli, I'm going to compare him to somebody, right? He's accurate. He throws a great deep ball. And when he scrambles, he just makes plays. Who's that sound like? Who's it sound like?
I'm going to go with, is it a past player?
No.
Oh, a current player?
No, it's a current player. I mean, scramble left, scramble right.
Josh Allen?
No, Josh Allen. Bo Nix.
Oh.
Accurate, great deep ball.
John Elway. I thought you were talking about me.
No. And he's Bo Nix. I'm watching. I'm like, my God. So let's get into this. Last Friday night, Hanover Park. You guys go on the road. First off, the conditions. I'm like, Becton's in trouble. They can't throw the ball 30 times in these winding conditions. But you throw it 32 times, I think, or 39 times, whatever you do.
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about the upset victory, how you guys played, and just what it feel like when you guys walked off that field Friday night?
I mean, it was just absolutely amazing. Coming into the game being the underdog. I mean, in most of the games this season, we're the underdog. Nobody expected us to get this far. And we're reminded by that, every day, especially when we walk into the locker room. Our coaches make sure to remind us that. Our teammates ourselves, we make sure to remind ourselves that, and keep pushing and know what we're fighting for, and that's to, prove everybody wrong. So, that just feels absolutely amazing. The feeling when we walk off the bus, it's like, it's go time. Nobody believes in us, but we watched the film. Our coaches drew up a great game plan, and we just go out there, and if we play our Wildcat football, we can win the game. That's exactly what we did.
Nice. Well, let's look ahead to Madison, your next matchup. 7 seeds, you get your home game, right?
Yeah.
What have you guys been doing to prepare for that matchup? What do you see as their strengths that you guys need to maybe hone in on?
Well, I mean, they have strengths everywhere. They have a lot of speed. A lot of speed. They have a really good defense. There's talented all around. So uh, again, I just think we have to play our game. I think we match up very well against them. But if we play our game again, I just think we will be able to pull out on top.
So this is kind of funny how this works out sometimes, right? Because you see it sometimes in the NFL, right? It's like, all right, playoff game, you're on the road, and then like the next week you're like, whoa, that team loses, and now I'm home, right? And
Yeah.
this doesn't happen a lot where you're 7, you win, and it's like, all right, even if you guys win, okay, now I got to go and we're gonna go home. But like, no, you guys are gonna go back on the road, but you're not. So Friday night now, you get a state sectional semifinal game in your house, right? So like, what is the advantage, and just what is that place going to be like Friday night?
The advantage, of course, is our Beckton jungle. We have a great student section. There, everybody always pops out for all the games, and I feel like that extra factor just helps us out a lot. Everybody's loud, cheering the whole stadium. I mean, it's a great feeling.
Eli, we had Zach from Big State Sports on before, and he was talking a little bit about the game as he had announced it, and we said to him, like, we feel like we've seen Eli grow up in front of our eyes, like from when he was a freshman. It's been such a pleasure to have you on, and really kind of I feel like we've been on this journey with you a little bit, to watch you grow. It's been such a pleasure, and we really appreciate you coming on and joining us tonight. We want to wish you luck next week.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Congrats on being Bo's top dog of the week.
Thank you.
Good night, Eli.
Thanks, Eli.
Good night. No problem.
There's Elijah Davis, and I'm telling you, like, I'm not joking, Jen. He accurate, great deep ball thrower, right? He did it versus Garfield. He did it versus the Lyndhurst games when it mattered. And he just makes, I saw it versus what game? The first Butler game, where Butler just got after him, and you're just like, kids scrambling left, scrambling right, making plays. And when you can do that again, there's Amy Turner saying, go Eli. Jen, you know what? Like, that is what you can't account for as a defense, right? Because again, when you talk about being like disheartening to a defense, it's like you stopped everything and then the quarterback just makes a play and you're like, how did he do that? Like you just throw your hands up. And you have a quarterback like that, and as an offensive player too, sometimes you just look and say, hey, this isn't working, that isn't working. Go make a play. Right. And he does that.
Have someone who
does that. Yeah. And it's just, when you have that as a quarterback, listen, as a fan, as a coach, and now as a teammate, you just listen, things are going wrong. Sometimes it's I don't know, call whatever and just go make a play. And when you have a quarterback and a kid like that, anything can happen.
Well,
anything.
I feel like Beckton is just building and building every week. Like as a coaching staff, you have to be so proud of and that's like when you look back on a season as a coach and you're like where you started and where you came, and I just feel like Beckton is truly epitomizes that this season. I feel like we have watched those kids you're seeing different kids turn up in the stat lines, even, like they've taken, and it's just nice to see, for any team. So speaking of stats, really quickly, before we get to our picks, let's go through our,
we're on good time tonight.
We're actually on time, believe it or not.
That's all you. I got to give you credit.
Thank you.
You are the time.
I try.
You're the time Nazi over there,
So our leading quarterback stats are Nick Vitiello from Saddlebrook with 265 passing yards. Eli was just our top dog we just had on with 204 passing yards. And Jaden Gonzalez from Bogota with 186 yards passing. Our rushing leaders this week, we have Kobe St. Hilaire takes over that top spot again with 237 yards. David Smith at Butler, who we had on this evening. Those two will be meeting up, right? So interesting to see that there. And Eli again, topping 2 stat charts this week with 166 rushing yards. Our receiver leading for the week, Saddlebrook's Dylan Cerciello with 142. Preston Pitts from Beckton, again, someone new to our leaderboard, but stepping up at the right time. And Brady Gilchrist from New Milford on the receiving leaderboard as well. Our defensive stats, leading in tackles, Anthony Sabarbo from Park Ridge with 16, Jaden Gonzalez of Bogota, and Michael Culinary of Hasbrook Heights with 13 each, Martin Jung of Saddlebrook and AJ Kimat from Butler with 12 tackles, and Everett Bell from Becton with 10. So there we have our stat leaders for week 9 play.
Again, I apologize. I do have to put a little candy because I've been
Just
good. I
the
haven't
cough
coughed really on the
guard.
show.
No,
so
you have been good. You have
I've
been
been
good. All right. Are you ready to roll into our pick segment?
I'm ready.
Do you have Kenny's picks?
I took a picture of it.
Okay, I did ask you to take that picture. Good. You want to send it to me? That picture
I
really
will send
quickly
it
while
to
I
you.
get that up. All right. Our week 10 games, we have oops, I went ahead here. We actually have,
you know we didn't do, Jen? Well, we'll do that. The bracket we'll do
at the end.
at the end.
Okay. Our one regular season matchup, we have Powell Park versus North Arlington, and Kenny is picking North Arlington by a score of 14-7. I'm going Powell Park on this one, not just because of those 2 wins, but I think those 2 wins over Elmwood Park and Lodi. The next game they put up 21 points in a close game against Cresskill. I think they've been having a little better showing offensively. North Arlington struggled last week with Saddlebrook, so I'm picking Powell Park in this one.
Yeah, I'm gonna do 2. Tristan Bailey, Bryce Armstrong, Javier Castillo though from North Arlington, running back, defensive player. Watch him on both sides. He's gonna have to have a big game, but I'm gonna go Powell Park too. I just think they got a little more momentum. I think Coach is doing a great job over there, so I'll take Powell Park.
All right, our next matchup is the non-public B first round, where St. Mary's travels to Holy Spirit. Kenny is choosing Holy Spirit. He's predicting a score of 28-20. I'm going with Holy Spirit as well in this one. I was just looking at some of their opponents. They opened up their season at the Battle of the Beach with Northern Highlands. Yeah, exactly. So, they've played some pretty stiff competition the whole year through. I'm going to pick Holy Spirit in this one.
Yeah, Holy Spirit won 3 in a row. They're very balanced. Quarterback Ty Costabel. They have a slew of, running backs, receivers. St. Mary's rough one last week with Immaculata. But listen, St. Mary's has to be balanced, right? They have the weapons, right? It's obviously Cologne and Bruton and Messina and Hortez. I mean, listen, you go with those weapons, you can win any game. I'm a little concerned though defensively. Like, can they slow down? I think Holy Spirit's going to try to run at them. I think it's going to have to be like, Holy Spirit's physical. I think this is where St. Mary's is going to have to get Bruton going and hit some big plays. But I like Holy Spirit in this game.
All right, and our next one is all of our NJIC state tournament matchups, which we broke down as the show went on. So we're just going to kind of roll through our picks a little bit here. We have Ramsey at Glenrock. Kenny is picking Ramsey by a score of 24-21. We talked about it. I feel like this is going to be a high-powered Ramsey offense against a I love how Matt Boyce described it as defense is their identity, right? I'm giving Ramsey the edge in this one. I'm going to go Ramsey.
Listen, Justice Favada, quarterback. The kid's been, played last year. This kid is a phenomenal athlete, right? 2,000 passing yards, 19 touchdowns, over 500 yards, 14 touchdowns rushing, right? It's 36 touchdowns combination. Jonathan Davis is also leading rusher, receiver. But listen, Glenrock's defense, man, I mean, when you have a defense like that, anything is possible. Listen, they've been through, Rutherford. They've been through Heights. They won last week's, Dylan Ferreira and that running game where they just come at you and they slowed that down. This is a tough one for me. I'm gonna go Rams. I just think Favada is the difference. I think he makes 1 or 2 more plays on this. I think low scoring. I think the more higher scoring, it's. I think Glenrock has to make this a very low scoring game. I just think to stop Favada for 4 quarters is gonna be tough. I'll go Ramsey.
All right, our next matchup is North 2. Group 1 is New Providence at Hasbrook Heights. Kenny is picking Heights by a score of 27-20. I have Heights here as well. I mean, we've been talking about weapons. We had Brady and Harris on tonight. I just I don't want to say worry. We are an NJIC show, right? So I'm rooting for those NJIC teams when they don't have an NJIC opponent in their matchup. You have that undefeated team coming into your house. It's going to be tough. There's so many good games on the schedule this week. So, but as you would expect in semifinal action, but I'm going to go Hasbrook Heights.
Yeah, listen, New Providence, 9-0, right? We mentioned this. Talk about defense. They've given up 54 points all year in 9 games. That's some good math. What is that? How many points per game? Is that 6? 6 points per game. That's pretty damn good, right? But offensively, they're pretty good too because they've only scored less than 31 time all year. Quarterback Kevin Riley, dual threat over there. But and then you come down the Heights. I think it is an advantage that they're home. No bus ride. Like everything's just. And again, it's not like you're going to Woodridge and you're going to St. Mary's and Rutherford. Like you're going to New Providence. I don't even know where New Providence is. I'm going to be honest. Where is that?
It's like by Summit, I think. Yeah, like Union County.
Okay, I still don't know
I
where that
believe
is.
so. Yeah.
But crazy. But listen, Nico Nipatella, Napolitano, right? Haynes, Brady Shine, that group, Colinari, Jaden Chikauza on defense. He had 12 tackles. I think that Heights' running game is the key to this game, right? I think that Heights' running game, and I think Nipatella is going to have 2 or 3 or 4 big shots, okay? Big shots to be able to hit plays because, New Providence is stopping the run game, and I think he does it. I think watch Brady Shine, 1 or 2 big-time plays, Napolitano in the pass game. Give me Heights. Give me Coach Bertola. Give me Coach Surrey. Give me this team. All right. We had Coach on last week with the offense. I love this coaching staff. I love these weapons. I love Heights, Jen. I love Heights. Give me Heights. Give me Heights.
All right.
Tom Negro saying Westwood, Caldwell almost as bad as Bergen Bosco. We're going to get to that. We're going to get to that.
All right. Our North 2 Group 2 semifinal, number 7 Madison at number 6 Becton. Kenny is picking. Let me just get this picture back up here. Kenny is picking Becton by a score of 33-24. It's funny. Can you believe this is a 6-7 matchup here, right? Like,
no, this is a good. This bracket's good.
Exactly.
This bracket's good.
So, I'm giving Becton the advantage here. I think I've been saying it. They're just like as from a coach's perspective, I just feel like they're just peaking at the right time when you want everything to be clicking and kids stepping up. It's just and that home field. Eli said it. They got the Becton jungle. I'm going Becton.
Madison 4 in a row. They won. Upset undefeated Bernards. Right when you do that. That's no joke, right? Zach was saying, this team is hot.
Yeah.
This team is playing with everybody.
That's the team I wouldn't want to see. I think we're exactly
right. What's the stats? I know he said Luke McGuire was out. Again, dual threat. He runs it. He throws it. Ran for 147, 2 touchdowns. Javier Izzo, 14 for 111. But look at that performance Eli had. And again, conditions weren't great last week, right? Conditions weren't great. And Eli still put up. What did he put up? Where's my stats? 204, 2 touchdowns throwing. 166, 2 touchdowns rushing. That's dual performance too, right? You got Pitts, Frank, Perry, Johnson. Defensively, Bell, Ragazzino, Patrick Lynch. We had those guys. Those guys are on with us every week. I've been picking against Becton. And you know what? But that's before I knew that Coach Marr is a Knick fan. You know what? Give me Becton. Give me that defense. Give me Eli. You know what? Eli's going to make just 2 or 3 plays where you're just like, up, sack. Nope, he got out. Look what he did, 60-yard pass or something like that. You know what? I believe in Becton now. I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't believe in him because I didn't believe that.
Coach Marr's probably groaning
No. Because you know what changed? What changed is the run game. And you know what? Eli ran for 23 for once. Keep running them. Keep running them because there's going to be a time where, listen, we got to ground that clock out. You're going to have to be able to run that ball. 23 for 166 last week for Eli. You know what? Hey, run it with the quarterback. Listen, I'm a believer now. I'm taking Becton at home.
Alrighty, our next matchup is North 1 Group 1, a rematch of an NJIC divisional game earlier. New Milford at Butler. Kenny is picking Butler by a score of 31-24. Another just great matchup, right?
Great matchup.
We just had the stats up, and you've got and again, we can talk about on both teams, but if you just look at those stat leaders this week, you've got St. Hilaire, David Smith. I'm just really interested to see, David Smith said it himself. We had him on earlier. Like when you see a team that second time, you just kind of don't know what to expect,
Yep.
right? You feel like you have a little advantage when you lost that first round matchup,
Yep.
So, and we'll see here though. But I think Butler pulls it off. I'm going Butler.
I've said this a couple of times. We all know, listen, Butler, 2-time NJIC champs back to back. And, I mentioned it a couple of weeks ago about how to beat Butler, quote unquote, how to beat Butler. No one's beating Butler, right? But I think either two ways, right? I think you have to just try to outscore them, but you have to outscore them when you have the athletes like Heights, right? Almost like a Rutherford, right? But I'm going to say more of like a Heights. And you know what? Heights came close to it because listen, you score, I score, you score, I score, right? Or you just have to be physical and say, listen, we are going to run it 40 to 45 times. We're going to get 3 and 4 and a 7 and a 12. And we're just going to have David Smith keep his helmet on the sideline, right? I think it has to be one of the other two. New Milford ain't going to beat them 48-42. That's not going to happen. That's not who New Milford is. But New Milford is a team where, hey, I'm going to shorten this game. I'm going to get 3. Hey, now it's 3rd and 1, 4th and 1. You know what? Coach is going to go for it. Another 3 minutes off the clock. Another 3 minutes off the clock. And you just shorten that game. And now you're telling your defense, hey, I don't have to stop Butler, 11 times or 10 times. I got to stop them 6 times. Not that saying you're going to stop them, but I'm saying it could help, right? It could help. So I think New Milford's got that team, right? Kobe St. Hilaire last week in a playoff game, 34, 237, and 3. That's going to, listen, he's going to get 34 carries again. I'm telling you right now, he's going to do it. That's who they are. The Johnson boys, 13 tackles defensively combined. All right. But what's on the other side? You got Mr. David Smith, right? Over 200 again last week. We had Evan 2 weeks ago making big plays. There's a lot more than David Smith on that offense, and that's what's scary. Yadi Perez, Evan Croker, right? I think this game though, the defense and the physicality is good. The physicality of Butler is going to get tested. How physical are you? Because New Milford's coming right at you, pounding. How physical are you? So I think it's going to be a great game, but I'm going Butler. At home on that blue turf. That's for Jack. I'm going blue turf. I'm taking Butler.
All right, and our last matchup is the North 2 Group 2 semifinal where Rutherford will be traveling to Shabazz. Kenny is picking Shabazz by a score of, Kenny is picking Rutherford by a score of 28-21. I'm going Shabazz. We talked about it earlier in the show when we had on Graham, the kicker from Rutherford, who, I was going to say punted them into the semifinal game here with his game-winning field goal. Shabazz has weapon after weapon after weapon. I don't know though. I think Rutherford's going to give them a game, but I think Shabazz is going to have the slight edge. So I have Shabazz here.
Joya last week, 16 for 111. Balkan, that was on the ground. Balkan had 10 for 17, 128, also 28 yards. He had 3 rushing touchdowns. Hint, what did I say? Quarterback run game in a formation. Quarterback, hint, right? Quarterback. Love that formation. Little fire. I love it. Shh, can't say nothing about that. And John Kozlik, again, we had him on a couple of weeks. The kid is phenomenal. But he's going to be busy, right? He's going to be busy. 5 of 6 for Shabazz. They routed Lyndhurst 46-7. Kareem Costin They ran for 271 yards and 4 touchdowns last week. And again, Zakir Best, one of the best defensive players you're going to see in North Jersey.
What's your pick?
Listen, Coach Dunn, I said this one more time. I'll say it again. It's 10-43. Rutherford next year is going to win the NJIC. Rutherford's going to win the section next year. And Rutherford's going to win the state championship next year. But that's next year. This year, they'll be playing in a state sectional final. Coach Dunn, I'm not going against you. I'm not going against Balkan. No way. They're going into Shabazz, and Rutherford defeats Shabazz. Rutherford gets to a sectional final.
All right, there you have our picks for the week. Before we go, we do not have the brackets up, but just to give our little, because we give a prediction for each of the.
I got to see what the bracket is.
Okay. Oh, you didn't even look at the bracket.
I didn't even look at
Okay.
the bracket.
Well, I will start. What do you want to do first? Non-public A or non-public B?
Do B.
B. All right. I have. I'm trying to think if this is a rematch of last year. I have DePaul and Red Bank Catholic, and I'm picking DePaul to win it this year.
All right, give me 1 second here. You're going who?
DePaul over Red. My finals are DePaul and Red Bank Catholic, and I'm picking DePaul to win it all.
Yeah, listen, I'm with you. I think I'll be honest, I'm not buying the Paramus Catholic hype. I'm not.
Yeah, I agree with you on that.
I'm not. They, 2 seed. I don't know how they're a 2 seed also, but I'm gonna go same thing. I'm gonna go DePaul, Coach Campanelli. I think they get the win. I'm gonna take them over Red Bank Catholic.
All right. And non-public A, I'm picking my finals as St. Joe's and Bergen Catholic. And I'm picking Bergen Catholic as my winner. And I am calling it the redemption tour, because on their way there, they're going to have to beat Bosco, and then they're going to have to beat Joe's. So I'm calling it the Bergen Catholic redemption tour, and I'm going BC. I got the Campanelli brothers bringing home the 2 titles.
Yeah, listen, we got to get Mr. Azzolino on this show, because he was fired up, and how Bergen Catholic, okay, just like Tom said, Westwood Caldwell being a semifinal game. How that's a semifinal game and not a sectional final, but how Bergen Catholic is a 4 seed. Okay, no disrespect to St. Peter's Prep. They had a great year. But who did they beat to be a 2 seed? And Bergen Catholic's a 4. Listen, great minds think alike, Jen.
Yeah.
I'm going with you. I'm going Bergen over St.
And you all had
Joe's.
proof. He hadn't even looked at
No,
the bracket yet.
no. I might have just took your answer, though.
I know.
Just listen to what you said.
Maybe,
No.
maybe.
But seriously, I'm with you. I think it's payback. I think the winner of, I'll be honest, I think the winner of Bergen Bosco gets the championship. I'm going to say it's Bergen. They're going to have to do it the hard way. They're going to have to go into Ramsey. You're going to have to go into Bosco to get that. But I think they do it. I will take Bergen over St. Joe's.
All right. Thank you.
Good
Before
show.
we go, we want to thank all of our guests for joining us tonight. It's a pleasure to have everybody on. Good luck to everybody who is playing. Thank you again to our sponsors. Thank you again to Sean backstage. And of course, thank you for watching. And we will see you next week.
Have a good night.